Hello everyone and welcome back to Transport Fever, where we are going to continue working on our rail lines, our wagon lines and things here in the year 1881. And this episode, instead of shipping goods, what I want to try and do is start maybe shipping some people. Because getting growth in between two towns, not only is that going to be setting up a main line in between two towns to ship people back and forth, but also potentially it's going to go ahead and give us areas where we can drop off industries in those two towns. So as this over here, Hellzoen, is our main kind of home base. This little cutaway seems to be a good spot to have our stations. We are then going to be building a line from Hellzoen all the way up, I think, to Sandhurst. And from there, seeing what we can do in general, right? I mean, we could potentially activate this industry here, though, you know, I like to kind of not work on the same industries too close together. So, for example, we have a bread producing area here. I wouldn't use this one. I'm more likely to use this one up the river, but that's just kind of how I prefer to play these types of games. You guys, of course, can activate every industry all the time, but yeah, we're making some money. We are in the green right now, and what I want to do is, first things first, I need to make this a little bit more profitable. I'm trying to decide on how to do that. Really, I need 2 trains to go up and down our first kind of farm to our food processing plant there. And to do that, we can add some passing lanes on this line, or we could simply go ahead and just make it a dual line all the way through. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that, but let's go ahead and set up a station here. Now this is kind of the end of the line. If you take a look, there's nowhere else to really go. So this can be really bulky. So I'm gonna grab a passenger terminal station, and we're just gonna rotate this, just like this. All right. And we're going to have 2 tracks each here. Now these aren't going to be hooked up to any roads just yet, but that's perfectly fine. Oh wow, look, we can do some secondary street connections down there. That's an interesting connection point. Let's angle this a bit. Alright, so what I want is something like this for passengers. I guess passengers could be a little bit closer to the left side. So that is our passenger station. Alright, perfectly fine. Now, to prevent the town from just spontaneously growing here, what I wouldn't mind doing is simply adding our freight station next to it, kind of preemptively, right? And we can keep, I would say we could keep those roads, but it doesn't look like that's actually going to let traffic through. It might let foot traffic through, which could still be handy. If we take a look here. Now the thing with freight though, definitely more beneficial to have that close to industrial and commercial, and I think this town's commercial is a little bit different than what we have. I think it's in the southern part of town compared to where we're looking right now. So let's go ahead and take out a massive loan. Like literally all the loan we can get, 6 million. All right, we're gonna pause. We're gonna pause because interest can be a killer. We're gonna get these really close together. And I'm sure some of you are gonna be a little annoyed. It's like, well, you know, why are you not making these parallel? We could. I think that would be fine to do. So there's our freight line. All right, there. So we have freight passenger, and then up here at Sandhurst, let's go ahead and take a look at the breakout here. So it looks like this would be the ideal location for a station. station location. And we'll just go ahead and plop them down. Now these ones, let's see, this is freight, so we'll keep it more on this side. Now the thing I want to do here that's a little different is simply I need the tracks to go through the town. I know a lot of people like that look, not only because it kind of bugs me when there's no turnaround point, or when the train kind of instantly turns around. It just doesn't look good in my mind. So we're gonna let this one actually cut through the town itself and then continue up the hillside, and we'll have like a center bypass lane or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. So there is that sign. Then here is the passenger side. You can see these. It's a big footprint, but it'll work out, and maybe eventually we can even upgrade these. Terminal 1, Terminal 2, upgrade. Maybe. Maybe. In fact, these are kind of big stations, so maybe we should actually upgrade them already and like make them 240s. Right? But that might make this junction, well, Adding another terminal is still an option here. You can see we could add extra terminals and things, you know. We still got room for that kind of stuff. Though collision looks to be an issue. I'm gonna make these longer. We're gonna make these longer here. I think in the long run, not only will it look cooler to have two proper large main stations here, I think it'll just overall be more useful for us. So we're gonna be extending this out, and you can see this is going to actually give us additional roadways up here and moving it, which is a little bit not what I wanted. But that's fine. It'll work out. I mean, they have 2 connection points, so both of them will be able to connect simply like over here or directly here, and it will still hit some areas, and we can bus people here, so it's fine. Having a connection point that far out, it's all right. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and get a train depot here at tram. A train one. So we'll rotate this. Kind of get this close so we can kind of make a bit of a compound looking structure here. Right, that makes it look a little bit more industrial anyways. Alright, so that's a start. We're going to be shipping people from here all the way up to here to Sandhurst. And then they'll simply turn around. So let's turn on our height markers. Very useful for plotting out your course. You can see we could roughly cut through this height line and not change track height too much the whole way up, which is kind of ideal for us. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, now there's a few areas that I need to kind of lay out first. The way I lay out track in this game is simply like this. I'm going to have key areas that need to match up. So there, and then basically this. Now this is going to be our first double line. We need 2 rails. This is a long section of track. It's going to be a very busy section of track, so we're going to have a lot of rails going through here. And you can see the terrain, a little ugly, but we'll hopefully be able to smooth this out a lot by the time we are done with it. So we're going to try and get this to be roughly gentle. Going off this way. There we go. So with that, we can bring these up over, and hopefully these two tracks will combine. If I can get this accurate enough. Good. A little bit of a weird bump here, but we can always smooth things out later when we're actually making money. So we have that, and the same thing here is essentially what I need to happen here. So we'll come out a little ways, and then just let these merge quite nicely like that. And now that we have those, we're gonna go straight a little ways to allow this track to merge back together. And then totally ignore this initial marker that we placed out because we suck at video games. There we go. So it's a bit of a weird split here. You guys, I'm sure, are wondering how these trains are going to turn around to go back the other way. We'll figure that out. We might just have to put a holding point out here and basically seal these off until they're actually in the station. Or I don't know. We'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. A lot to do this episode in terms of that. So let's get this slowly snaking its way along this seam. Looking good through there. Get this to go right through that forest, not only because it's more expensive and I don't apparently like saving money, but you know, because forest routes can look neat. So we'll do a junction there and then a nice smooth, by smooth I mean not smooth at all, a little bit up this way. You can see I'm not doing a direct connection because it's trying to do the most efficient spline instead of hugging the terrain a bit, which is not really ideal for me. I like to try and keep the terrain as natural as possible without having to make too many weird adjustments. And then this, how's that look? You can see that's really cutting away here. So what I'll do is simply drag this back to about there. And then you just kind of hand trim it until everything's roughly where you need it. And now we don't have that giant cutaway. We have some cutaway, but not terrible. Alright, so this is the end of the line. It's gonna be an interesting way to merge these. So what I'll do is I'll bring this out straight a good ways. On all fronts. We're gonna bring this straight out. I mean terrain alignment. Give me that terrain alignment. Crap. Might have to change where we put this depot. So we'll hold on that. Alright, so we will go out to there, and then straight from this point. I'm fine with this being a little asymmetrical. This should merge into this track. Like that. Same thing here. Okay, looking nice. We'll just continue this out straight a little bit more. Which of course is running into some terrain problems, but that's fine. We'll address those as we go. And then this can gently join together. Alright, so one line is connected. So temporarily, until we get turnaround locations and ways for these trains to really pass each other efficiently, what we'll do is simply just come off the side, nice and gently, and just have a double track, that whole length. So we will do the same over here. So they merge. I'm gonna try and get this merge to be as gentle as possible. That's why I'm making them so long. Nice. I'm liking this. I'm liking how heavy-handed it is. Good. So that is kind of our first little section of mainline track going through there. Little wobbly in areas, but I'm sure that can be straightened out. Holy cow, that is quite the wobble to it. All right, let's see if we can't get this to cross at all. Now, I don't think I'm gonna be able to, simply due to that these are part of the buildings. Alright, that's fine. I have plenty of room to move this, so that's what I'll just do. It's just the easiest solution for this problem. I hope you guys enjoy watching this problem solving kind of go here. There. So I'll just put it on that side. And run into the exact same problem. I might need to put this road down first. So we'll go over. I need to make this quite a stretch road. Up. Really weird way we have to do our station here, but it's just kind of where we're at. And then just like that. So we need to go to the station and kind of work your way off to that branch. We should be basically good to go. We need to put some signals, though. Oh boy, signals. It's really gonna come down to here and here. then I'm gonna need signals about like here. If there's anything going on this track, I can just, I guess, shut that whole lane down. Is there any two-way signal? I mean, I guess I can just put it on... No, I can't put it on the opposite side. I don't know how to do a two-way signal in this game. That's problematic. Tell you what, we're just gonna have to ignore it for now. Plenty of spacing. Here initially we won't have more than really 1 to 2 trains running on it, but so at least keep them somewhat safe. Probably not as much as I would hope, but we'll find that out here shortly. You know, I have a feeling that I should get rid of these. And we're gonna see how the thing behaves first. So we'll connect this like so, and then this like so. What a weird curve on that road. I don't like it. Gotta try and keep this straight. Or straighter. Alright, good. That's a decent look. Alright, let's decide what train we want. We have about 3 million left. So we're gonna buy a train. The Class 53 Prussian is probably still our best choice. So we're gonna buy that. And then we will buy, I guess, some passenger cars. That's about what we can really do. 3, 4, 5, 6. 75 meters of passenger cars. I think that's fine. And on that note, what we'll do is we'll create a new line. And this is the... Let's see, what's this name of this town again? Halzowen? Halzowen. To town name that is hidden. Okay, we'll find that in just a second. Anyway, so it needs to go from there. Sandhurst, that's what it's called. To there. Halzowen Sandhurst line. And I can keep that yellow. I'm fine with that. And the thing I'm curious about, yes, so we have a 2-lane going on there. So that's perfectly fine. And that means this, am I playing? Nope, not playing. Okay. This one can go ahead and do that. So we have our first little train heading off there. Now, in the meantime, before we get ahead of ourselves, I need to add roads so people can actually start using these. There we go. kind of town makeup is this? Nice. So we are picking up a decent spread of buildings here. Oh yeah, we're picking up a great spread there. And here we are picking up some residential, some commercial. So no, this is some decent placement here on our little stations. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now I don't know how much they're going to be used here initially. It'll be interesting to see. Wow, look at this train go. It is a heavy pollution. Heavy pollution on this guy. Real nice though. We have anyone waiting in Sandhurst yet? Oh look, we have people crossing the tracks. So they're coming on over by a really ugly terrain feature that I'm probably going to spend too much money fixing. Or at least getting rid of some of the crazy sharp edges from it. Is there a level terrain tool? What is this? Little signs? Weird. Alright, so we have no one waiting here. I think they're just using it as a road to walk through. Pretty standard at this point. May not get anyone until the train finishes its first route, which is kind of normal for transport games. The game a lot of the time usually you don't recognize that the line is working. No. They're just using this to bypass it. It's actually pretty funny to see people just walk across the industrial rails. Alright, on that note, while we let that kind of cook up, and we'll come back to it in just a moment, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make this double. I'm gonna double it to there. Because frankly, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this line in the long run. Oh my god. The lag. That was real. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do for this line in the long run. And how that's gonna behave, so. For now, we're just gonna have to do it like this. Okay, yeah, we got plenty of supplies waiting down here, so we'll go ahead and start picking them up. So 20 and 20 is kind of what we're getting down here, so let's go ahead and buy a train. Get this Prussian again, and we need open wagon to carry grain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good wagon to carry some cows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And set line, orange line. There we go. So we're gonna have double the amount of trains doing this circuit at this point. Please don't crash, please don't crash, please don't crash into each other. Please do not crash into each other. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. How are this rail set up? This one's going up and the left side's going down. That's kind of how I expected it anyways. 1 of 56 passengers. Oh my goodness. Not a popular rail system that we just set up, is it? Definitely not yet. But it could be once we get some more industry going back and forth between these two spots. Because now that we have a freight line here, what we can do is start shipping bread from here. Now we can either load it directly here, which we might do probably, and then bring it across and over, connect to this line, and ship bread to Sanders, which could be cool. Alright, how many passengers did you get? Just get one more, huh? Just one more. I mean, it's a beautiful looking train. I love the green color. It's definitely going maybe a little too quick for this area. But we are also on 3 times normal speed. Not making a killer profit yet. We're also probably going to run into, this is going to run into the production limit when we start overfilling this. And we need to ship it into more places to keep this kind of flowing. But having 2 of the trains will hopefully be good for us in the long run. Look, I mean, just look at how big these terminals are compared to the trains. $1,000. Oh, that's not enough. Oh my goodness, this running cost is $100,000 a year, and it made $1,000. It's like it's basically the views on my YouTube channel. All right, yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, with that, well, we'll see how well we can recover for the next episode, spending so much money on these, but hopefully it'll get more and more popular as we progress. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this series here of Transport Fever. If you do, feel free to leave a comment, leave a subscription, where we will go ahead and see you guys in the next episode, and maybe get some cars? I don't know.